Hi, welcome to Ginny's Garden. I guess most of you that are watching this right now are watching this on my website, www.herbsinmypocket.com. Always have loved flowers and landscaping. It's a passion of mine, and I'm hoping through these segments that I do with you on my herbs that you will find some, you have learned something from them and found enjoyment in the flowers, which I do, and the gardening and landscaping. Today, what I'm going to do is, because I did say that, I'm sorry it took so long, the tutorial on roses, I'm going to begin that in this segment today. First of all, when I do my drying of roses, I use the very small roses in my garden, which I'll show you a later date. I don't use the larger flowers as much as the smaller ones, because that's what I use for my pockets that I make. There's an example of one of them, and then the messages on the back. If you go on my website, you can see them. So the very first thing that I do, I cut this one yesterday. This is actually drying already. It was a lighter shade of actually pink on the outside, darker pink on the inside. I cut it to where I want it, but depending on what craft you're doing, this is sufficient for me. And I've gone to home improvement stores, Home Depot or Lowe's or even dollar stores to find these screens that I use. If you look on my website and you see my drying room, which used to be my drying room, now it's becoming something else because we're running out of room. So right now I'm working in my sunroom. But if you look at that picture, you can see how I utilize the screens. There's all different sizes you can buy. There's small, medium, and large screens. I use them all. But on this particular instance, since these are such tiny roses, I put them on the screen after I've cut them and leave them separate from each other. I try not to get them too close. And as they dry, because it's on a screen, the air goes up underneath. It's a step up, and it goes up underneath, and it kind of circulates the air constantly so that they dry real nice. This is one way I use it. I just think it works out real well. There's other ways of drying that you can use with silica gel, which I just choose not to, but you can get that at your local craft stores like A.C. Moore or Michael's Crafts, depending on where you live. And but this is what I choose to use. So anyway, I took this from the garden yesterday. It's now in the process of drying. But all of these other roses are they've already been dried already. And what I did with them, I put them on the screen, cut them, put them on the screen, and then I put them in a room that's not well, you don't want to light a real well lit room. You want something that's fairly like shady, dark, on the dark side if you can do it, and also one that's ventilated, one that's free of moisture. I've put actually dried my roses. I used to have a closet in there, and I put them in my my walk-in closet. But I had my drying room, and now I use the sunroom, so I can, if I want to dry these, I'll put them just into my back family room even, because there's not as much light in there, and I put that up high up on a shelf. And it does the same way. You can put these all throughout your house and dry your things, as long as it's not in an area that's well lit, and also that it's free from moisture. It works real well in the wintertime. If you have a heat vent, that helps dry it even quicker. So I put them on my screen, let them dry, put them in a fairly not well lit area, and then I leave them sit on here probably for about 2 weeks. You can check after a week or so, but 2 weeks it should be enough time for these. And then that's it. And then what I do is for me, depending on your craft, I use them in my pockets, which I just showed you. There's another one. It's a smaller one. And I use a lot of my herbs in the pockets that I make, but I also I dry herbs. I use them around my house, and I'll show you all those in different segments that I make on this website. So this is the smaller type roses, but a lot of people like the larger roses. So I have some larger roses here, all different colors. But I don't know if I mentioned to you before, which I don't think I did. If you get the roses that are dark, like these are darker, and they're beautiful when they dry, but they dry darker. If you get the ones that are lighter, they don't they don't get as dark, and they kind of, they look, to me, I like this color. You can do any color you want, but they look more true to form, and they don't get as dark as if you got the red roses. I use the red roses, the dark red roses. So doing what do you call it, roses, larger roses are not hard to do. If you just take them, let me take them out of here, I'll show you. I'll take a few out of here. Okay, just let's take this many for right now. And what you can do with these, because you don't want them real long, because I usually dry them. Let's see if I can get them broken now. Yeah, I lost my other scissors. So we're just going to take these and hang them upside down, and we're going to use something to tie them all together. Now I use different things, like there's floral wire you can use. I've even taken twist ties that you get from trash bags, and I've tied them all together like this, depending on how thick of what you want to use. And I also use string, and you use whatever you can, and I just kind of tighten them like this, right? And then that leaves room left. Then I just take this, tighten this again, right? Just kind of play with it. And then you got a little hole right here. Now, this isn't where I would normally dry these, but because I have a peg rack here, kids usually have their bathing suit